My name is Elysia English and welcome to my channel. During this video, I'm going to show you some crafty ways to earn some extra cash. I want to tell you a little story about how I got started doing this aspect of my business. The reason for me sharing this story with you is so you can see that I started doing this without any clientele at all. 5 years ago, my family and I moved from a busy city to a small town. We didn't know one single person when we moved here. This video is going to show you some tips and tricks on how you can earn extra money, and you don't need to build up any clientele before you start. I started not knowing one single person, so I'm living proof that this can work. The aspect of my business that I want to share some tips and tricks with you is flipping items. I want you to think about what items you usually shop for when you go shopping. Whether these items are new or used or in a small budget or a large one, these are things that you clearly enjoy using, have a need for, or are passionate about. So take a close look at the things that you actually buy shopping and put those on a list. You've officially found the items that you're going to purchase to flip. So for myself, I like to buy furniture, vintage items for home, old linens, and things that I can use to create other projects. Those items are all on my list, and those are the things that I look for when I go to a list of different places to go shopping for items that I know that I can resell to make a profit. Making that list was now you graduating from your first step on flipping your first items. Step number 2 is knowing where to find your items. I like to look for my vintage items that I like to resell at charity shops, secondhand stores, auctions, yard sales, church sales, rummage sales, lots of different places like that. Because I like to resell secondhand items, I know that I have to look at secondhand shops to find it. What I like to do is stay away from what the big box secondhand stores are and look at some of the smaller shops because I know I can get better deals there. The items that are found at those locations are also not highly picked over like the big box stores. Whether you realize on your list that you're passionate about vintage clothing, housewares, or children's items, all of those things can be flipped for a profit. Depending on where you live, your own community will have places where you can shop secondhand, barter, or trade. Step number 3 is evaluating the items that you want to purchase. So you found an item that you really like. Is it worth it to buy it or not? When I find an item that I know that I want to buy, I look at a bunch of different things. Is it broken? What kind of condition is it in? What will I have to do to the item, if anything, to make a profit? Does it have all its parts? Is it on trend? Is it the right color scheme that someone would be looking for? Is it the right texture and shape? I'm also going to be looking at what the use of that item would be and if it would be a want or a need, and what amount of money that I think I might be able to get for that item as a profit. Is it rare or collectible or a sought after item? The other thing I look at when I'm evaluating the items is how am I going to resell this item? Am I going to have to ship this item? Is it breakable, or will I be able to sell it in my local area? All of these things mentioned above will tell you if your item has a potential to make a profit. If you feel after evaluating this piece that it's worth it and that you know that you can charge a little bit more than what you paid for it, you know that you can now flip that item to make a profit. Step number 4 is actually purchasing your items. You want to make sure that you stay within the budget that you've set to purchase your flipped items. You don't want to put something on credit where you're going to incur any additional costs. You want to keep all of your overhead as low as possible. So paying cash or debit is your best option. Step number 6 is what you do with your items now that you actually acquired them. So you want to make sure that they're properly fixed if they needed any repair, extremely well cleaned, and they're packaged in a way that you want to present to someone. You also want to make sure that you take amazing photos of the item, maybe showing what its use is, so that you can show people in a photograph what they'll be able to do with this item. Step number 7 is knowing where to sell your products. There's a lot of different options out there. A lot of people think to sell items that you need a storefront. My best advice is to keep your overhead at 0. If you can keep all of your expenses to just the items that you flipped, and maybe a little bit to repair them or restore them if you need to, you're going to make your biggest profit potential. I have personally always dreamt of having my own Elysia English storefront, but I know as a business, it doesn't make sense for me to have the overhead. I can sell everything online, even before I had clients, and be able to make a profit with those items with 0 overhead. When selling items online, you want to do a lot of research on what platform works best for you. You want to keep all of the percentages that the platforms take from you as low as possible. So do really good research and make sure you pick what's best for you. I personally love my Etsy shop as well as my Facebook business page, which has 0 cost and overhead, and Facebook Marketplace. Another good suggestion is to join local craft fairs and vintage fairs. You can often get tables for a very low price. In my area, I can get a table for only $30 for a weekend. Depending on where you live, this might be a good option for you if you'd like to gather items over a small period of time and then take it and sell it all at once. Tip number 8 is knowing how to price your items. You want to make sure you get what you're valued at for putting in the work to find and restore the item that you're going to sell. Maybe you're able to just resell it without doing any restoration, and that's great for your profit margin. Using online tools to price your items is a great way to know what items are going for, maybe in your local area or online. So do a little bit of research if you need to, so you can see what kind of basis you should start at. You want to make sure that you keep the receipts for all of the items that you buy. If you're at a place that doesn't give you a receipt, make sure you just jot it down, so when you're looking at it in a few more days, you remember exactly what you paid for it without guessing. So if I know that I spent $5 on an item and I don't have to do anything to it but clean it and tag it and list it online, I want to look at how much time is that going to take me and value myself for my work. There's no right or wrong way to price your items. Ultimately, when you're pricing your item, it's what are you personally going to be happy with, return for your profit on what you've actually purchased. So I know how much I'm going to be happy with if I invest $10, and that's going to be personal to you. So know what you're looking to get out of an item, and make sure when you buy it that you're going to be able to get that if you can. This is where honest business comes into play. I'm not out to rip people off, so I want to make sure that I price my items that it's going to be fair for someone else to get a good deal, where I also get to put a little extra money in my pocket. Tip number 9 is the perfect sale. When selling your items, don't get suckered into delivering for no fee. This is going to cost you time and money and gas. So you want to make sure that you negotiate online with people that they either pick it up or you charge them for delivery. Same goes for shipping items. Don't ship items for free. The buyer always pays the shipping. If you don't include delivery and shipping into your cost, that will eat up all of your profit and sometimes more. Don't waste money on unnecessary packing supplies. You want to use what you exactly will need to keep the item shipping safely, or deliver it with exactly what it needs to keep it from getting damaged. Unnecessary supplies and overly pretty packaging will eat up all of your profit margin. Tip number 10 is don't be a hoarder. It's very easy to find lots of things that you want to purchase that you think you'll be able to flip. The key here is not to be a hoarder. You want to sell the items as quickly as possible to turn a profit. The longer you hold on to these items, the more you're devaluing the purchase that you made. Some additional tips that I have from flipping vintage items is that you want to make sure that you know that people have a good, strong bartering game. You want to know what your lowest amount you'll take is, a medium it you'll be kind of happy with, and what the high end of what you're going to sell your item for. You always have to keep in mind as the seller that if they've contacted you for an item that you've posted for sale, that you as the seller have the upper hand. You already know that you have them on the end of the line, that they really want this item. So make sure you hold true to what you really want for that item, and you'll do well. Sometimes their tact is actually to tell you that they'll pass, but don't worry, they often contact you later when they change their mind. Another tip is to keep a log of all the things that you've bought and sold, so you can look back on it later and see how well you've done. The best thing about flipping items is that you can do this in literally any budget at all. You can even do this with a free item that you find. I hope to inspire you to make some extra money by taking my week challenge this week, and that is to find an item, whether it be free or in a very small budget, and turn it for profit. This is entirely how my Elysia English Designs business got started. I traded a vintage light for a pair of dressers and flipped them for profit. So I'm living proof that I started an entire business without investing any money at all, and I'm still running it 5 years later. What you need to do is take the initial investment. Say you invest $5 in your first item. You want to then make your profit. Say you made $10 on your $5 investment. You're going to put your $5 back in your pot to be able to buy your next item and keep your $10 profit aside. That way you know you have your $5 initial investment ready for your next purchase, and you know that you're not in the hole anything for starting your business. The reason that I wanted to share this with you today in this video is that I'll be adding a lot more vintage items to my business lineup. This is something that I'm really passionate about, and I love that I can flip items and help people save money buying things to make their homes beautiful, help people in need, as well as make my own home great. So this is something that I really enjoy doing, and I really want to do more of it now that I'm doing this full time. To end this video, I want to show you a cute DIY that I'm going to do to flip this week using vintage items. This week I invested $10 to do this DIY that I know that I can flip for a profit. I've been seeing a lot of these cool wall art ideas online, and I really wanted to give one a try. So I hit the vintage store so I could find some old lace and embroidery hoops. I learned a lesson while I was looking for the hoops that the vintage stores were not cheaper than the art store. So I headed to the art store to buy some new hoops to save myself a little bit more of my profit margin. I purchased some hoops in various sizes, knowing that I would want to stagger them on my wall. I purchased a bunch of different styles of lace for about 50 cents to $2 a piece. I was able to get an entire set of lace curtains for only $2. I anticipated that it might be a little bit tricky to find nice styles of lace at the secondhand stores. Well, it turns out everybody's grandmother used to have lace, and there was plenty to choose from. I even lucked out and found some neat colored lace. I'm disassembling my hoop, and I'm going to cut out my shape and put my lace inside between the two pieces. I hope this video inspired you to do your own DIY vintage upcycled projects. Thinking outside of the box with the items that you'll purchase to flip for profit can really help you set yourself apart from others. I'm really happy with the way that this simple upcycle DIY turned out. I can't decide if I'm going to keep a few of these for myself or not, but these will look great in someone's home if I flip these for a profit. My $10 investment will go a really far way because I have lots of hoops left as well as a ton of lace that I can keep using. I really like to live by the motto, we rise by lifting others, and so I'd love to hear in the comment section if you have any other tips or tricks you want to share with others or even with me about how to flip items for profit. If you love this video, don't forget to smash that like button and share this video with someone you think will enjoy it. Good luck on this challenge, and don't forget you can reach out to me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and here on YouTube. All of my handles are in the description box. If you're new to my channel and you haven't heard, we're giving away a Silhouette Cameo 3. There's only 6 more days to enter this giveaway. Head over to my Trash to Treasure #1 video and comment what your favorite upcycle project was on my channel. You also must be a subscriber to win. Thanks so much for watching, YouTube family. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.